to my kitchen. Paula here, and this is my channel, The Flavorful Home. It's good to see you, and I'm glad you're visiting today. If you're new, I hope you enjoy the stay. I hope you find something interesting. I hope you'll consider hitting that thumbs up and subscribe button so you don't miss any goodies. Today I am making my family's, I would say it's in the top 5 favorite, braciole. And if it sounds a little familiar, maybe you know braciole. Braciole is beef or pork pounded thin and stuffed with an array, depending on where your family in Italy is from, what they like. You can stuff a braciole with breadcrumb, salami, hard-boiled eggs, provolone, plain breadcrumb with garlic. Every family has their own version of braciole. Bracioles are exactly that, but little. They are London broil sliced thin with a breadcrumb stuffing, very basic, olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper, Parmesan cheese, and it's rolled tight and put on a stick. Let's get going so that you can make this lovely dish for your family too. When I make braciole, I like to use a piece of London broil. When they're on sale, I'll pick them up, vacuum seal them, put them in the freezer. You can use roast beef, but I like the thin strip of the London broil, like this, so that you're putting your breadcrumb on there and rolling it. Obviously, if you had a roast beef, it would be 2 or 3 of these wide, and you'd have a much bigger braciole. And I slice on a bit of an angle so that you have a little bit more real estate on your strip. If you're a little intimidated doing this, try partially frozen London broil. It will help with the cutting. I've been making Brozzies for so long that I don't really have an issue with cutting it anymore. As you could see, I try to go as thin as I can. And don't get discouraged by how the meat separates too. What I'll usually do is I overlap it like this and roll it, so it's not that big a deal. But if you cut on the angle, you get a little more area for your stuffing. And it's as simple as that. And you just keep going down your strip of meat. Keep that on a bit of an angle. I'll do one more, and then I'll come back when it's all finished being cut, give you another. That's what it looks like. Okay, we'll be back in a minute. Alrighty, next up is our stuffing. And we have almost 2 cups of breadcrumb. I use plain. I don't like seasoned breadcrumb. I like adding my own seasoning. In there is crushed garlic, 6 cloves, a nice amount of fresh ground pepper, a little bit of kosher salt, and now we're going to add some olive oil. You want somewhat of a paste, not too much olive oil, but enough for it to somewhat clump together. A little special something extra I'm going to put in, and that's truffle oil. It's black truffle. It has an amazing garlic smell. I'm just going to add, it's not a requirement, I have it, and so I'm putting it in. And just a little, barely visible. Black truffle oil is amazing on grilled veggies or roasted veggies. And I put 3 of, this is soup spoon size, not cereal spoon, of Parmesan cheese. And you combine that, and when I'm combining, I look to see if I feel that the olive oil ratio to the breadcrumb is where I want it as far as clumpiness. See, this is still a little too loose, so I'm going to add a little more. Just drizzle it, and this is extra, no, it's not extra virgin. This is straight up olive oil. I don't like to use extra virgin too much because it has a stronger taste. Extra virgin is better with veggies and on pizza, if you're making a dressing. I like regular olive oil so that the taste doesn't come through too much. This is just about where I like it, because you can see the clumps. I'm going to add just a little bit more. It has that wet appearance, and that's kind of what you're looking for. And this is the universal stuffing for mushrooms, artichokes. You could add parsley to this for your mushrooms and arties. I keep it plain. I just do my cheese, my salt, and pepper and garlic. I don't add parsley or any kind of Italian seasoning. And that's what I like. It's just a little. And then, of course, I do have to taste it to make sure my seasoning is where it should be. Perfection. Absolute perfection. I have my skewers, because that's what you do with brocciolatinis. They go onto skewers. Everyone loves to eat food on a stick, right? Now, I had shown you where some of the pieces have to be put together because they were smaller. So I kind of place them on top. I take my breadcrumb and just dab the breadcrumb onto the meat. No rhyme or reason. Just get it on there. You want a nice amount because you want that taste to come through. And then you roll and squeeze. And you roll. Squeeze. Then I will often roll it into the breadcrumb that has fallen off. Roll. Squeeze. squeezing gets it to stick together. That's my fridge, the ice filling. Squeeze. Then you take your skewer. I usually could get at least 9 on. You push it all the way, almost to the bottom, just so that you have enough where you could hold it. Some of that extra breadcrumb. There you go. Now, I will be able to get at least another 4 more. But in the meantime, I have my prepared cookie sheet. I put foil, give it a light spray with my olive oil spray. And this just goes on there. Put it to the side. And we'll do these ones. I'll just get that on there. You kind of line them up like little braciole soldiers. All in a row. Get that, put that there. Get your bread crumb mixture and it's off to the races. Roll, squeeze, roll, squeeze. Squeeze. And roll that all over in the excess that's on the cutting board. You want all that breadcrumb stuffing. It is packed with flavor, and as it cooks, it melds, and it's so good. Squeeze. All right. We'll get these threaded, and then when I'm finished, I'll show you how they all look. Let's see if I get these all on here. I'm going to let it go at that. I'm not going to push it to the end. This way we could pick it up. I think that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. And then I will do this too. Coat it so you have a nice coated brocciolini. Alrighty folks, I'll finish these up and I'll show you them all lined up on my cookie sheet when it's finished. Be back in a minute. Alrighty folks, we have 3 Brozzie sticks with 10 each, makes 30. I don't know if I'd call them Brozzie sticks, but we got 3 of them. Sometimes I have 5, sometimes 7. It depends on who's coming, how many people I'm going to be serving. It's just, I think there's 5 of us tonight. Forgive me. Sometimes my brain gets away from me. But this is more than enough because my family's favorite side with this is fettuccine alfredo. So I make up a bowl of fettuccine alfredo and I roast my Brozzies to a beautiful caramelized brown, along with a salad, and you have a delicious meal. These will go in a preheated oven. I put it at about 400. They won't take more than 25 minutes. At least in my oven, it doesn't take more than 25. At about 15 minutes, I give them a turn so that both sides are browned nicely. Also, you don't really need these skewers. I have been in a pinch where I don't have skewers, and because you're squeezing them, they will hold their shape if you need to bake them. It's better with the skewer. You avoid the possibility of them kind of opening, or if you just have the short skewers that you would put in a sandwich, use them as well. It's just a formality. I don't want you to not make something because you feel you don't have the right equipment. These are just delicious. So they'll go into the preheated oven, 25 to 30 minutes tops. Halfway through, flip them over, and we'll come back when they're cooked so you can see how beautiful they look. And here's the Brozzies, all finished. 20 minutes total. You can see they have a nice golden crisp crust on the outside. I will plate it with the fettuccine. Do you like my platter? My daughter Sophia got it for me for Christmas. See what it says? Alrighty, when I plate it, I'll come back. Okay, here's the finished dish with fettuccine on the side, and that is a delicious meal. Thanks for watching, friends. Until next time, go create something wonderful.